So this week's exercise is going to be a bit of a challenge. Last week with the recall, we did the whole thing where we threw things out that the dog wanted. We released the dog to run on, we recalled, we stopped them from getting those things, and then when they came back, we released them onto those things. But what happens when you're down the park and a kid comes with a bike with fluffy things attached to it and your dog starts to chase it? Or if there's a fight at your local dog park and your dog decides now is the great time to get involved? What happens when that recall could save your dog's life, but when you can't release them onto the thing that they want? So today we're working on that principle. We're working on getting them away from things that they really, really want for things that they want as well, but then not releasing them back onto those things. And if you've got a really toy motivated dog, get 2 toys. And if you've got a really food motivated dog, get a toy and food. And what we're going to do is, to start with, we're going to work the dog on a long line. Now, the only reason that we're going to use the long line is to manage the dog. It's to stop the dog from getting the reward if he doesn't listen to your whistle. So ideally, that long line will be loose the whole way through and you'll never have to actually feel the end of it at all. But ultimately, it will stop your dog should he decide that actually, let's go for the ball. I've forgotten what the whistle means for this minute. Once your dog gets really good at this, you can start doing it without a long line and just holding onto the collar and letting the dog go and whistling them off the ball. Now, what we're not going to do is get a massive, great big ball launcher and fling the thing as far as we can that first time. Hold your dog, release them onto it, and then try a recall. Because this is going to be like a grade 10 recall, and your dogs are probably only about grade 5. So instead, we're going to start at a grade 5 and we're going to move our way up. What that means is we're going to roll the ball to start with very gently. And then after we've rolled the ball very gently and we've got that down, the dog's doing it easily, we're going to start just tossing the ball. And then when the dog's really smashing it, we're going to start bouncing it and chucking it a bit further. But for the time being, we need to start off slow. So to do this, we're going to either hold onto the long line or hold onto the harness or onto your dog's collar with 2 fingers. We're going to roll the ball slowly. We're going to wait for it to stop so that it isn't that exciting. The dog should be fairly intrigued. They're going to go over and see what it's all about. And as soon as they've gone over and seen what it's all about, you're going to whistle them off and give them the other thing. So either this toy with a bit of a game or your food. And then we're going to progress from there. So let's have a little look at what that looks like. To start with, I'm going to do it on a long line. I've not done this with Blake. And then afterwards, I'm going to start taking that long line off and seeing if we can proof it with a bit more excitement. So let's go. Blake. Good boy. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to prevent the lead from wrapping around the dog's feet or wrapping around my feet and sending me flying. To do this, we're going to do some bunny ears, just like when you're learning to tie your shoelaces. So we're going to bunny ears it up. And we're going to get those bunny ears. And what happens then is it means that this line will just fall through your hand, but you can also stop it fairly easily. We're going to get the 2 toys and we're going to choose one to throw. So I'm going to throw the ball and the other one to reward with. And then I'm going to put my 2 fingers inside Blake's harness. I'm going to throw the ball. I'm going to wait for it to be dead, for Blake to give it some interest. I'm then going to release him onto it. And then I'm going to try and recall him off it. So let's see how we go. Close. Good boy. My whistle. Okay. Okay. Get it in. Okay. Okay. Yes, good boy. Oh, good boy. Well done. Well done. Good boy. Yes. Out. So for a first go, I'm fairly pleased with that. Again, like I said, I didn't want him charging at the ball that first time. That's not the point. He won't understand it. We need him to be in a thinking mode. So we need him to be fairly calm the first couple of reps. Let's go again. A little bit more exciting. Okay. Get it. Okay. Yes, good boy. You can see how that long line managed him though. It stopped him from flying and getting that ball, which would have been a real disaster. Okay. Yes, good dog. Ready? Get. Yes, clever boy. Clever boy. Oh, so clever. Oh, he's so clever. Ready? Oh. Okay, get it. Yes, good boy. Clever man. Okay. Good boy. Out. Okay. Yes, good boy. So I'm now going to try and start without the long line because I think he's ready, but we shall see. Don't do this until you're pretty sure your dog's going to come back because you really, really don't want to mess it up and for him to get the ball that you've thrown because that will undo all that work. Every time you blow that whistle, you want the dog to come back. If the dog does fly out at the ball and you think there's no chance of getting it, just let him get it and don't bother blowing the whistle. If you blow the whistle and he does get it, it's not the end of the world. Take the ball off him, put the long line back on and start again. So let's have a go. Out. Close. Ready? Ready? Okay. Yes, good boy. Good boy. Well done. Well done. Well done. Good lad. Out. Good. Ready, ready? Okay. Yes, good lad. Nice work. Nice work. So I'm going to leave it there. Really pleased with that. I'm going to have a nice play with my dog. Good boy. Oh, you're so...
To learn more, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell.